Hi everyone, it's Caroline. Thanks for joining me today. It's Masterboard Madness 2026, which has been running all the month of March. And it's Hazel at Hazel and Aka Design who created this fun collaboration. It's my second year being invited, and thank you very much for having me again, Hazel. And there are, well, it says here 31 days of Masterboard inspiration. And I'll have a list in my description sharing all of the creators and the links. And I think we'll just get started today. I'm going to share a few things that I've been working on. This is something that was my inspiration. It's a zine. I'll open it up. And it's a zine that I had made, maybe a year or two ago. And I turned it into a zine with pockets and tags, very interactive. It's a little bit of an accordion style zine. This was my inspiration. I thought, it would be fun to make a masterboard and then turn it into a zine. And before I get into sharing this, I'll share my masterboard book. And I know many creators on this challenge or this collaboration, and also fellow creators, have a storage book that they use their scraps and make masterboards, and this is mine. This is one way I do it. And I thought it would be fun because I've been whittling this book down. I thought it would be really fun, again, with my inspiration zine, to use two of these pages together and turn it into a masterboard zine. And so from my scrapbook masterboard, a storage book, I should say, I created this zine using two of the pages. I sewed them together, and you don't have to sew. I love to sew. A lot of my items that I share have sewing involved. And then I made some pockets using some repurposed pattern paper, the instruction paper, and then also some images from a little golden book, little scraps on the top. You can see the masterboard, the collage in here, and also on this one I added a few little things extra after I folded it into the zine. And this one I only had the two pockets on the top. And I made another tag here, little journaling card, I should say, with the back ready to journal on it. And then I added more because I used a lot of map on this masterboard. So I thought it would be fun to use more map and turn it into a band to hold it closed. Then the other masterboard that I had made, very inspired. This was a regular masterboard on a copy paper. I used leftover magazines, leftover dictionary, old papers. And this one I actually used all the pockets. And so I used an old photo that was copied. This one I used some more leftover papers. This was a piece of watercolor paper that I punched in, or I cut it out into a ticket, and then I just added some stamps on there. And then this side, and there's another card, journaling card. You know what? I'm mistaken. I didn't use my copy paper. I'm looking inside. It's an old leftover piece of scrapbook paper. I don't even think it's this size. I just cut off to make it a unique size. And then this is a little paper clip inside, hidden paper clip. You can see that I did not embellish it any more than that, just to hold some papers for taking some notes, jotting down little items. And then I just added a little bit of ribbon. So that's another kind of zine. But today I want to try and do two. First, let's do one out of here. And none of the papers go together. Take this clock one. Just tear it out. Tear that out too. Now this needs to be attached. What I did with the map one is I zigzagged in the middle a couple of times so that it's attached. I think I overlapped it a little bit, so what I'll do is overlap this edge. And I don't mind if when I fold a zine, if some of the images are flipped around, because none of my papers are all the right side anyway. And I really do not need to demonstrate how to create the Masterboard because it's collaging and we've all done it so many times. But I think it'll be fun to see how the zine's created with this. And there are different, there's some denim here, there's some cotton fabric, some handmade paper. So there's different weights of paper on both each side. So I have this size, folded it over a little bit. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. So far for my zine, I have taken 2 of my Masterboard pages out of my book, put a little bit of glue stick. I did overlap a little bit, and then I added 2 rows. Very messy. I am not being precious about this because it's very grungy anyway. And then this side is the page. So, and then I did 1 straight stitch all around the perimeter. I'm going to fold this up now. So the way that I fold this is, and I guess I should mention too that my original sort of inspiration is this zine that was using 2 junk mail envelopes glued together. There was no sewing on this one. No, this was just glued. So you can do it with only gluing. You could do some hand stitching if you want. It's whatever kind of look you're after. It's great to use the tools that you have too. I want to have a line down the middle, and so I'll get some help with my scoreboard. Just place it right in the middle, and then that'll be pretty close. Having an adventure together, seeing how it develops. That's all I need that for right now. So I will fold this. That's a lot easier. Let's see how straight I got it. Not too bad. Once again, I'm not wearing now. You can see here my sewing went right through the spine. I'm not even going to worry about it because I can patch it up later. It's because this paper is handmade paper and I did a lot of stitches on there, so I perforated it a little bit too much. It's going to be fine. I'm going to use masking tape. This will be the inside of my zine. First time this has happened with my zine, so we can do this together, sort it out together. Just going to burnish this down, and then I can cut it a little bit here. This way. bind the fold. I can add some more, you know, a piece of tape here or a piece of fabric later, another piece of paper. Then we're going to fold it landscape. And just try to match the corners as easily as possible. So some of these papers are going to be brittle because they have been in my storage book for a while. They get brittle because maybe they're already old. There, like that. Fun to make ephemera with ephemera. And then what we do is we take landscape and go up to the center line. And my zines are not for, originally zines they're just a little personalized magazine that can be used to get information out about something you're creating, you're doing, news about yourself. So you can see there are eight quadrants, 8 surfaces. And so now what you do is you fold it back this way. And cut on the line and go to the first intersection of your fold. And so what you're going to have is a hole in the middle. Then what you do, I'm going to go this way because I want this to be the outside of the zine. I will worry about these little pieces after I fold it back. So now what I'm going to do is pinch my edges, see how it wants to fold. It will want to go one way or the other. Oh, there we go. So see how you just kind of take it and fiddle with it a little bit. And even here, up here, I'm going to persuade it a little bit better. I have the clock there. And that can be the front of it. There's a page. There's a page. And you can see some of these are upside down. Another page. And then another page here. And my threads are all in the same corner. So that worked out okay. I don't mind if the pages are not even. And so what I would do here is I would glue or sew the bottom, and that's what I'll do. I'll sew the bottom and I'll see what kind of pockets to make. So I've done all the sewing around, and I was thinking it's a good idea if you are going to be sewing and you want to have little thumb notches to do that before you sew, otherwise you'll take off all your stitching. I'm just going around right now and gluing the little pieces down that were standing up. Just having a feel. This one I'm going to, yeah, this one's going to need a little extra. It's very grungy. Lots of little thread ends, and this is not a look for everybody. But you can adapt this kind of a fun masterboard into as plain or as decked out as you like. Any aesthetic will work. You can have very pretty, you can have childlike. So what I did is I took a seam in the middle to close it up, and then I decided my pockets are going to be, I have one on the side, a side loading pocket here, and then I closed off this edge, and then I made a top loading, another side loading, and a top loading. And that's a zine out of 2 pages sewn together. A few little cracks here and there, but you know, that is, for me, that's fun. I don't mind that at all. Gives more of that old look. And then, not that anybody needs any direction with tags, but here's some fun mail that I received from Celeste. And I'm going to use one of these to make a tag. So I'll take my, I'll do this first one. I'm just going to put it up against here and do a very, I'll go in a little bit so I have lots of room to clear it. Clearance is what I'm trying to say. I'm not even using a ruler. I won't decorate the tag. I'm just going to make it to put it into the pocket. And then, okay, the bottom here is a little bit out. A scrap piece of paper that was in the garbage. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back for some journaling. So this is the front, this is the back. I love doing stuff like this where I can use this side. I'm going to use the side without the paint on it. Some tags I sew, some tags I leave. This one I'll leave. And there it is. There's one tag. And then you make some side ones. I'm going to make one that has no sewing. This is a regular copy paper. I already have, I started with my magazine that's on its way. It's almost done. And I'm going to start gluing down. I start gluing down these circles. My 2-inch punch, circle punch. Just looking for what I punched out. It's the textures that I really wanted. And it's only glue stick, but I think when you start folding your zine and you start adding things to it, it helps to finish off and make it stronger. And I have run out of some circles, so I'm going to continue in this well-harvested, well-loved magazine. Food is definitely not out of bounds because it gives some nice texture with some cool colors. See how well I did with the count. I don't know how many I've got. This one that says seeds on it. So there's a few with, like I said, objects. I added the rest of the circles. And there's a few blank spots along the edge. I thought I'd leave that, and I can color that in or add some washi tape or something else. I'm going to fold it into the zine now. It's half. This should be a lot easier. I'm not sewing this one. Now you're going to have little spring ups. I'm going to close that up now. Landscape. So it's in 4, and then one end comes this way. And you could use any shape, any shape goes. So there's your 8. And then right to the intersection. So you have your intersection like that. Fold it. But if you see something that you want in the front, like let's say I wanted to have text, and then I can easily fold it this way. Once you do these a couple of times, you'll see how to manipulate the page. And it does react a little differently once you cover it. I'm going to leave it with this in the front, and I'm going to glue the pages together. And you might want to trim your edges so that they're all clean and the same. Let's say you were making something and you wanted to send it out to a few friends. You could photocopy it and then fold it that way, like a little message. That would be fun too. This is one of a kind. This was cut out of a magazine. I thought I would put it on here, Made in Canada. That was kind of fun. I'm not making my zine. I'm not going to square off the edges. I'm going to leave it the way it is. I think it's also a fun place to add doodles, add some washi tape. I did put a little piece right here where there was a bit of lift. There's a bit of lift right there, but I don't want to take away from the eye. I think I'll just go right here and cover some of the words. I'm going to doodle around this one because it's a bit rough on the outside. Hopefully I don't ruin it. Flamingo on the back, I love it. Well, here's what you can do with some masterboards. These are ones that I had already made, and they're in my storage book. Gluing down scraps, and with that I made this zine, putting them together, creating pockets, and didn't add anything to the masterboard itself. It was exactly how I pulled it out of the book. Just sewed it together and folded it, then added this fun map belt on that one. And then this one I also made ahead of time, but this was on a piece of scrapbook paper. More scraps, but I kept these ones rectangular on the scrapbook paper. Folded it again in the zine style, and you can see it was a different size, so it's a different pocket size. And then I added tags and all kinds of fun things with my leftovers. Photocopied photo, scraps of fabric and ribbon. This one ties around. And then today was the same idea with the Masterboard storage book. Sewed it together, folded it, made pockets. I only made this one tag just for a demonstration. And then you can fill your little zine pockets the way you want to. And it's a little book. I think it's so fun. All the possibilities, endless. And then this one today, using my magazine that's almost ready for the recycle bin, cut out a bunch of circles, glued it to my copy paper, did the folds, and this one is a complete, it's not pockets, it's just a zine. You can doodle, you can send a message to a friend instead of a postcard or instead of a letter. You can have a little bit of a book here, little notebook. Oh, I hope this inspires you to use your scraps again. I think that's my catchphrase. I love using scraps. You can embellish them any way you like. Oh, the endless possibilities. Have fun in your crafty spaces, in your creative art studios. You're on the bus or on the train or on the plane, anywhere you are. Be adventurous and stay fresh. It's springtime. Warm weather's on the way. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. So wanted to add, if you leave comments and watch all the videos, you'll be entered into a draw Hazel will have sometime after this Masterboard Madness is over. There's only a few days left. Thanks, Hazel, for inviting me. And thank you to everyone who participated. It was really fun watching and being inspired.